Welcome on.
Hi guys.
It's just my 2 cents. I'm Gigi.
And I'm Dani.
And as you know, we're talking hair stories this
all week long. Yes, we couldn't dedicate just one topic. We needed like 5 or 6 or 7.
Or 7.
Or a lot.
There might be some next week.
Yes.
Just kidding.
It just keeps going.
So you already know what we're talking about. You already know what the deal is. But today, we're going to get into some juice.
Exciting, yes.
We're going to get into Dani's hair story.
Yes, my hair story.
Horror hair story.
Yes, I do have quite a few horror stories.
Oh, wow.
When it comes to my hair. But I think the most important thing is that I try to embrace it every day for what it is. I mean, I haven't washed my hair in 2.5 weeks. My locks need to be twisted up, but you know, I'm gonna rock out and I still look great. And nobody can tell me differently.
Oh, shucks.
Snap, snap.
So let's get right into it because you guys already know what we're here to talk about. So, Dani, tell us.
Yes.
How did your hair story start?
Well, it starts, my mom has a Native American background, so it was really hard for her to manage my hair because she has a completely different texture than what I was gifted. And she put a perm on my hair when I was probably 10 years old, and of course, she couldn't manage the price of getting a perm every 6 to 8 weeks, so we started using the box kits like Motions or Just For Me or something like that. And my first horror story happened when the first one was shortly after.
Jeez.
Just two. The first happened when I was 10, and we, what is it called when you leave the perm on for too long? Like over-processed?
I don't know.
I think it's over-processed. We over-processed my hair, and I had scabs for weeks, and it just was, my hair fell out, and I was combing over little pieces that were still in place, patching those over the ones that disappeared. And eventually cut all of my hair off at 10 years old, which is such an important time in a little girl's life.
That's right, when we're developing our feelings,
yes,
our emotions.
I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be the cool
self-esteem.
kid. Yeah. No. No. So that's one aspect of my story. But then as I was growing my hair out, my family tormented me because of the style. It was reminiscent of Jerome from Martin, and every time I would Jerome, you know, he had the blowout with the curls coming forward, and every time I would come around, they'd be like, Jerome in the house.
Oh no.
I know, and I can laugh at it today, but it's still just such a horrific and traumatizing event in my life that I remember. And of course it has to do with my hair, and even after that I still got another perm. After that, Jerome grew out.
So you were wearing it natural for a while, and
and it grew out for maybe 2 years,
wow.
And then so it was significantly long at that point. Not long, but you know, I had enough hair. And my mom, we got another perm when I went to the 8th grade, and the stylist put a touch-up on my virgin natural hair instead of a full perm.
Oh my goodness.
So the roots were permed and nothing else was permed.
So
I know. It's just really sad. And I think that the largest part about it is that there were no resources for me or my mom on how to take care of my hair and how to properly manage it. There were no trailblazers in terms of natural hair care and like really embracing that.
Especially
and of course
around that time, like it was so. That's
exactly.
when, like in the midst of like weaves coming out and
weaves coming out,
excited about
pink lotion,
all those things. Oh goodness.
And of course, in addition to that, my mom, whose hair is drastically different than mine, like she's combing and tussing and fussing, and we're fighting and popping with the comb, and so that's my childhood story. I mean, in high school, thankfully, I got it together a little bit, but once I got to college and studied abroad in Washington, D.C. and London, finally got some inspiration from the ladies on the East Coast and some women over in England, and decided to grow out my natural hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is like right around the time when we first met, or not when we first met, but we were becoming fast friends.
Yeah.
So it was like, wait, she called me one day like, you're gonna cut your hair off?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. She was really like, okay.
So tell us just a little bit about that. Like, how did you get to that point where you're like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do.
Well, I just felt like I had a perm and my hair would only grow to a certain point, and it was very thin. I mean, and there were other women who had perms whose hair seemed to take very well to it, but that wasn't my story. And so I got to a point where I was like, I'm done. I couldn't do a big chop, although I tried to think about doing it. And so I did a semi big chop. I grew it out for a couple months and then cut that off. And then I was in Los Angeles at that point, so there weren't very many women on the West Coast that were rocking natural. So it was just it was really difficult and challenging. I mean, there were many days where I would look in the mirror and I'm just like, this nappy hair. Like, still that mentality that I grew up with.
So how did you get over that? Like, I
moved to the East Coast.
Oh, dang.
No, when I graduated, I moved to the East Coast, moved to Baltimore, where I had some inspiration. And,
like,
you know,
a lot of people on the East Coast.
People weren't looking at me like I was crazy. Like, I could go to the club, and sadly, it's like I would go to the club and get a little action and be like, oh shoot, my little natural hair. People recognize that I still look good. And unfortunately, at that time, I was looking for other people's reaction to my hair. Whereas today, I am who I am. I am completely who I am, and I've embraced that. And as I said earlier, this is what I've been gifted, and nothing is wrong with it. It is all amazing. And so I think it took me a long time to get to that point. And the process from going natural to locks was a challenge in and of itself. But that I got locks after I moved from Baltimore, DC area to New York, and I went to a loctician. He is truly an artist when it comes to locks and natural hair. So that was very helpful to just have a support team, a support system here in the city. And then my boyfriend, my now fiance, I remember I had my natural and I straightened it for him one time, and he walked in and he was like, I'm gonna sweat that out, right? And I was like, no way, I gotta keep this in for like 2-3 days. But I just wanted to see him to see my hair straight, natural before I went ahead and locked it.
Support system is definitely crucial.
Yeah,
because once I remember, even when you were getting your locks, you were like, when you first got them, you were like, oh no, what did I do?
Yes, I did. There are plenty of times where I wanted to cut my locks off, and I was like, I look like an alien and I'm not cute. And, I just had to, I recognize that this is what my hair looks like today, but this is not who I am forever. And this doesn't define who I am at all moments. Like, I had to just really work past that. And I know even you were like, Dani, no, like, it's like cute. Yeah.
You'll be fine. And I said this before, but I'll say it on camera. Like, just that experience for her as someone that was watching it, I think it was very courageous, because I remember her being in the mirror like, I don't know what to do. And then us being like, okay, we're just gonna go out, and her still being at the club like, hey,
with
like,
my little
and still being like loving herself. So that was very like courageous and very commendable.
Yeah, it was really going really deep. Like real deep.
Knifing it good. Deep.
Trying to find that strength to just be beautiful no matter what.
Well, you are beautiful.
Thank you. So are you.
That was very inspiring. Oh shit, sorry. That was very inspiring. If you guys have any questions for Dani, if you want to know how she gets those lovely styles that she does, what kind of products she's using, shoot us an email at justmy2cents.com, and we'll definitely respond, and Dani will respond too.
Yes. Thanks, guys. We'll see you for our next episode.
Bye.
Wait, I didn't get to tell who my celebrity crush is.
Oh no, I forgot. Yeah. Okay, who's your celebrity crush?
Oh,
wait, we're still recording.
Okay. Oh,
your celebrity crush. Who is it? I'm excited. Who is
my
it?
celebrity crush is Jill Scott.
Oh, that's a good one.
And the reason why
that is a good one. I love her.
Yeah, well, the reason why is I just feel like she goes back and forth, and I see she works in an industry that does not accept natural hair.
Yeah.
And so I see her struggle every day, and like she's been a favorite artist of mine since she originally came out with A Long Walk, and I rock with Jill all day long.
Yeah, she rocks her hair. Like, she does it.
And she's a bigger woman. That industry just is not accepting of her.
And she does not care.
No, she doesn't.
Like, this is me.
It's like, you're getting in the way.
And I'm going to sing this song, and you're going to like it.
Yes.
You're going to like every piece of this and my big boobs. That's how she is, though.
She really is.
I love Jill Scott.
Yes.
Okay.
That was all.
Awesome.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye for real this time.